Good morning. It's people solving problems. Problems are now solved, more or less. Is everybody ready? This is Meditation Sunday, so I'm going to tone my own self down, which is extremely difficult. Okay, I love that outfit. I do love that outfit. It just sparkled when you walked in the door. It made me very happy. Okay. First off, we're just going to kind of sink in for a second. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine, 'cause I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. So swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Good morning. Today and every day, we swing wide the doors to the presence of God, knowing that Spirit is in this place and in all places and all people. And just as this magnificent autumn sun has awakened us to a new day, the Spirit of God within awakens us to divine glory. And this glory within and around us is everywhere we look and in every situation we encounter. With our hearts centered in Spirit, we can quiet our thoughts and meditate on the wonder of all of God's creation and our oneness with it. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, become comfortable, and gently release any cares of the day. Because your sole purpose at this moment is to experience the divine. And you begin to do so now as you relax into this sacred time and space at Unity Spiritual Center. Seeing through eyes of oneness, acknowledging our oneness, we at Unity Spiritual Center celebrate and honor people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. And that God is expressing through all people in unique, special, and individual ways. As you look at the flame of the candle that we light every Sunday, remember that you too have a divine flame within. Remember that you are a living spark of God and that you are an individualized expression of God. We honor the one presence and power of God with Unity's foundation statement, which you'll find behind me on the screen. And I invite you to join with me in saying it aloud together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. We give thanks for our spiritual community and for the beauty of our spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity Spiritual Center is a welcoming, warm, and inclusive community dedicated to studying and putting into practice empowering principles and tools for happiness, health, prosperity, and successful living. We give thanks that with our spiritual teachings, we can create extraordinary lives and a peaceful planet through our relationship with the loving God presence within each one of us and through our relationships with one another. Our vision and the opportunity for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you spend your days doing what you love and feel called to do, and most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. If you're visiting us for the first time, and I know we've got one first timer, Haley in the back. Did you get your gift? Did she get a chalet? Wonderful. So as all of you know who've been here before, we'd like to give out chalets. They have a tag on them that says, just as God has a design for every shell in the sea, God also has a design for your life. And we know that being around a table can give us a wonderful sense of connection, so that's why we keep a few tables in our sanctuary as a symbol of the warmth and hospitality that we can experience when gathered together. You'll see communal journals on those tables, and they are an open invitation for you just to make a mark, to write a favorite verse from Scripture or a favorite quotation or even just a few words about how you're feeling. And it's a way that we can get to know you better. And we, of course, set up food tables in the next room, and we invite everyone to join us following the service for our rapidly becoming famous hospitality spread. And if you, any of you, ever want to talk about Unity in general, or Unity Spiritual Center in particular, or anything else that's on your mind, please don't hesitate to contact me. My contact information is printed on the back of the newsletters that we have in the back of the sanctuary. So as we move into the meditative portion of our service and prepare to sing together, I'll ask that you turn off any electronic devices or your cell phones if you haven't done that already. And I will now turn it over to our music maestro, Michael Hatfield.
And today's meditation is a tune by Karen Drucker called In the Stillness. And it will be sung 3 times. The only thing that changes is just a tiny lyric. So we'll just start with the top of it and see what it sounds like. Here's the melody. Verse. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace, there is peace. In the stillness of the moment, there is peace, there is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is love, there is love. In the stillness of this moment there is love, there is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love. In the stillness of this moment I am love, I am love. In the stillness of this moment I am love, I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am love. Sing the peace line. In the stillness of this moment there is peace, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment there is peace, there is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace.
And now as we continue to get comfortable in our seats, relaxing even more deeply into this time of prayer, meditation, and worship, let us open our hearts to receive the message of today's daily word, which will be read by the Divine Miss Lakshmi Crawford.
joy-filled and radiant. These words to a popular Unity hymn perfectly express the deep and boundless joy in my soul. I am the radiant life of God. I am. I am. I am. Divine happiness is my birthright, and I express that radiant happiness in many ways. Through a warm smile I share with others, through my uplifting words, and through the helpful actions I take on behalf of others. Like a cork that floats to the surface, my soul is naturally inclined to rise up in a state of joy. I don't let negativity hold me down. Instead, I'm buoyed up by my relationship with God. My connection to Spirit helps me live from a joy-filled awareness. I'm energized and uplifted. The joy I feel in my soul is an expression of the radiant life of God that courses through my being. The quote is from Psalm 51:8. Let me hear joy and gladness.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Unity Spiritual Center is a center of prayer and healing. As many of you know, we keep a community prayer chest in the back of our sanctuary. It's placed on a table that also holds green prayer request forms. And you are always invited to fill out one of those prayer requests and place it in the box. And let's just take a moment right now to know that every person who is represented in that prayer chest is enfolded in divine love, and that divine order is taking place in each of their lives. The prayer requests that are placed in the box are prayed on by me and our USC prayer team for 30 days. And then we forward them to Silent Unity at Unity's World Headquarters, where they're prayed on for an additional 30 days. As I mentioned, there are prayer request forms in the back printed on green paper, and you are always invited to fill one out and place it in the box. But we have created a time in our service where we can make our prayers audible. And this is the time to offer your prayer needs to your spiritual family here so that we can support you and stand with you. So after we sing the introduction to this song, which Michael will lead us through, it's a call and response. We will then answer each prayer request that is spoken by singing "Your Prayer is My Prayer Too."
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. I'm going to single one out for this one. It's my friend Andre, who I told you about last week. His house is completely gone. He has a disabled adult son. His van that he moves him around in burned up as well. And his wife had to go in for surgery the very next day. He needs a lot of extra gas, so put a little on for Andre. Your prayer is my prayer too. 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 Your prayer is my prayer too.
We have also included a time in our service where we can give thanks for the gratitudes that we have, the ways in which our lives have been blessed. So if there's something that you would like to give thanks for, to share with your community, please do so now.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We give thanks for this opportunity to bless and to be blessed in spirit. We give thanks for the feelings of connection, of peace and warmth that fill our hearts and minds right now. We give thanks for the privilege of praying for others in our community, in our region, in our country, and around the world. And we affirm that always and in all ways, no matter what the appearances are, divine love and divine order is everywhere present. At Unity Spiritual Center, your prayer is our prayer too. Amen.
Shut down the noise, turn off the lights, draw yourself in. Let everything drop away, go deeper still. Just feel the floor, soak in the sky, open the space. Let everything drop away, go deeper still. Silence is the loudest sound you hear, almost deafening, filling up your ear. Falling back into yourself, there's nothing left to fear. Go deeper still. Slow yourself down, there is no race. Take a long breath. Let everything drop away, go deeper still. Shut down the noise, turn off the lights, draw yourself in. Let everything drop away, go deeper still.
That was a beautiful establishment of a meditative ambiance, wasn't it? Thank you, Michael. And now I have to kind of break through it a little bit to prepare you for a longer guided meditation that we're going to have, because this is our meditation Sunday, and once a month, on the fourth Sunday of the month, we have a longer guided meditation. But I wanted to just say a few words before we go back into that beautiful space, so we can kind of have a sense of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because this is the last day that we'll be talking about zeal, at least as a power. We've been looking at the 12 powers this year, one power a month, and in October we've been looking at the power of zeal, which is such a great power. I really think of it as being the superpower in many ways because it's about that life force. It's about that enthusiasm. It's about whatever it is that gets you up in the morning, that keeps you steady through the storms. And Unity defines it as the ability to be enthusiastic, to be passionate, to start, to motivate. So it's this wonderful quality that we all carry inside that helps us to be enthusiastic, passionate, inspirational, and motivational. You know, and it was interesting because I think I talked last week about Shiloh McLeod, didn't I do that? And Shiloh had an interesting post on Facebook this week that I just want to share with you, and I hadn't planned to do this, but I'm going to. She said, "Are you going to be the one receiving help, or are you going to be the one providing help?" And I think in these days, that's a really important question to ask yourself. There are people who need to be receiving. There's no question about it. There's a lot of turmoil and devastation that people around the world have experienced even just recently. But I think there's a call in there too. There's an invitation to also maybe show up in ways that we haven't thought of before, to maybe realize that we can be the provider of help and support too. You know, it's that wonderful phrase that has been attributed to Native American elders, and then President Obama used it one time, the idea that we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So as we talk about zeal, as we go into a longer meditation, perhaps that's something that might be useful to think about. Am I going to be somebody who can provide help, who can provide support? And through this month, I have repeated this quotation from Charles Fillmore, which is a very famous quotation in Unity, and which I certainly have done my best to promote because it's such a fabulous quote. And the reason it's so fabulous is because he wrote it when he was 94 years old. And this is what Charles Fillmore said. He said, "I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me." I mean, that's just like a great quote, isn't it? If nothing else, how many quotes have you ever heard that use the word sizzle, right? Sizzle, you can feel it. You can feel that zeal and that enthusiasm. But what I want us to think about and to take into our meditation is the last part of that quotation, which is to do the things that ought to be done by me. To do the things that ought to be done by me. So in other words, we're going to shift this examination of zeal to look at another facet, which is taking action. And why is that important? Why is it important that we take action? I mean, it's a rhetorical question, right? We see all around us why it's important to take action. And Jane Austen, who lived a couple centuries ago, said, "It isn't what we say or think that defines us, it's what we do." It isn't what we say or think that defines us, it's what we actually do. So in other words, in the context of zeal, we can think really enthusiastically about something. We can think, wow, that'd be a great thing to do. We can even talk enthusiastically about something and say, wow, I'm going to do this. But until we actually do it, then we're not fully illustrating the power of zeal. It needs to be followed through with a definite action. So again, I want to point you to that quotation by Fillmore. If all Fillmore did was talk about springing forth and sizzling, it wouldn't be nearly as powerful, would it? The reason that quotation is so powerful is because he was 94 years old and he kept working on his vision until the day he died. He didn't let older age stop him. He didn't let anything stop him. He knew that he had a mission, and it kept him going. It was that power of zeal that kept him going. And I talked about that last week with Shiloh. So what keeps us from taking action? What stops us? Any ideas about that? And just throw it out popcorn style. What can get in the way of us taking action? Any thoughts about that in your own life or others?
Leaving your house.
Leaving your house? You have to leave your house? Yeah, because it's nice to stay cozy by the fire, right? Lack of confidence. That's, yeah, definitely one that a lot of people share. Procrastination. Fear of failure. Right. What was it? Fear of the unknown. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fear of being dependent on. That's a big one, Kim. Absolutely. Yeah. Or kind of a related one, that belief that, oh, somebody else will do that, right? I don't need to do that because somebody else will do that. Yeah, we sometimes see that in the church, hint, hint. You know, people thinking, oh, somebody else will do that. So yeah, so this idea of action is really important. And one of the other reasons why sometimes we don't take action is because we don't bring God into it. You know, we stay in our minds, we stay in our thoughts, and we forget that this is a co-creation, that our lives are co-creations with the divine. And we forget to bring God into it. Because you know what? It's pretty motivating when you think that you and God are doing something together. And so one of the things that I want to explore with you in this examination of zeal is the idea of bringing God into it, whatever it is that you think is yours to do. And one of the best ways to do that is to create a covenant with God. Now, it's interesting that the word commitment comes from a Latin root that means to give over. Isn't that interesting? Commitment means to give over. So it's that idea of giving ourselves and our commitments, whatever they may be, our goals, to God. And the word covenant also has a Latin root, which means to come together. So when we give ourselves over to God, we come together with God, and that's when miracles can happen. That's when people can do extraordinary things. And we have seen incredible stories of extraordinary things, haven't we? Just recently. So in researching covenants, I found out that in different theologies, there's a wide range of belief about them. You know, some theologies believe that we can't create covenants with God, that it's actually something that God creates within us. But, again, to look to our Unity co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, they made a covenant. And we used to have a copy of that covenant hanging in our front hallway. And this is what they wrote as a covenant in 1892. We, Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore, husband and wife, hereby dedicate ourselves, our time, our money, all we have and all we expect to have, to the spirit of truth, and through it to the Society of Silent Unity. It being understood and agreed that the said spirit of truth shall render unto us an equivalent for this dedication. Isn't that interesting? So they are stating they fully believe God to meet them where they are. In peace of mind, health of body, wisdom, understanding, love, life, and an abundant supply of all these things necessary to meet every want without our making any of these things the object of our existence. In the presence of the conscious mind of Christ Jesus, the 7th day of December, AD, 1892, Charles Fillmore, Myrtle Fillmore. Now, isn't that interesting? You know, what a statement of faith, right? So they're stepping out, and they're saying, this is our covenant. This is what we are agreeing to do. And we fully expect that God is going to meet us and that God is going to provide these other things. So they had complete conviction that their covenant would be rewarded and that God, the Spirit of truth, would do God's part. So when you walked in the door today, you got a piece of paper. Did anybody not get that piece of paper? Okay, everybody's got it. And that's a sheet on which you can write down that which you would like to manifest in your life, what your vision is. And then there's a section where you can write down what you want to do with God, for God, to stay connected to God. And I'll leave a little bit of time for you to be able to fill that out. But just to give you some ideas on how that question might be answered, what could you do? What could you do for God? What does that mean? Well, it could be something tangible. It could mean, deciding to tithe or to help raise funds for your spiritual community. It can mean deciding to volunteer, deciding to become a member, and we will be holding another membership class in a month. It can mean just having a regular time of prayer and meditation, or remembering to say thanks throughout the day. That wonderful song by Karen Drucker, I Am So Blessed. That can be a lovely thing to sing throughout the day. But because today is Meditation Sunday, I'm going to give you a deeper opportunity to really sit with these two important questions. What is it that you want to partner with God in manifesting in your life? And what is it that you can do to stay connected with God in your life? So is Valerie, she already did, right? Okay. She already turned down those lights. I'm going to ask you again, I'm going to switch microphones here. So I'm going to ask you again just to get comfortable in your chair. Take 3 long, deep breaths. Close your eyes and just feel yourself relaxed and at peace. And Valerie, I'm going to check with you. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. So I want you now, in this place that is so safe, your inner sanctuary, to imagine yourself in your favorite place in nature. And in this beautiful place that you love, as you look up, a beautiful rainbow arches across the sky. Just feel yourself completely safe and at peace as we focus on each color of that rainbow in turn. So first, look at the bottom band of the rainbow, the shimmering red of the rainbow, and imagine that you're sitting on a red cushion in your favorite spot. And that color red represents your life force, your vitality, your strength, the foundation of creating your vision. And now notice the orange-colored band of the rainbow. And as you look at it, feel the energy that emanates from just below your navel, because that beautiful color orange represents creativity, all the creative power that you need to make your vision a reality. And now notice the bright yellow band of the rainbow. And as you do, feel the energy around your solar plexus, at the center of your being. That color yellow is associated with your will, with your mind. And as you feel it, notice that you are becoming even more relaxed. And now, moving up the rainbow, Notice the color green, that beautiful, shimmering green. And feel the loving energy emanating from your heart. Green is the color associated with peace. And let that wave of peace spread throughout your body. Now we'll look at the band of blue in the rainbow. The color of the sky, the color of love. Imagine that same color of blue gently radiating from your throat, the center of communication. And now look at the indigo band of the rainbow, the color of intuition and knowing. And imagine that color radiating from your forehead, making all things clear. And finally, look at the last band of that beautiful rainbow, the violet band. And then visualize that beautiful color of violet radiating from the top of your head, connecting you with the life force of the universe. You feel your oneness with all. You have become a rainbow. Notice how relaxed and peaceful you have become, emanating these beautiful shades of light and energy, fully aligned with the divine. As you sit on that red cushion, feeling so relaxed in your favorite place in nature, you look around at your surroundings, the sky, the landscape, and just rest in those rays of color. Those rays of healing and cleansing energy, which are now cascading over and through your body, washing away all your worries and invigorating every cell in your body. Feeling so relaxed, so peaceful, so safe, and so aligned with God. Begin now to examine the vision or the goal, that which you pray to manifest in your life. Just notice what comes up and share with God the deepest desire of your heart. What is it that you pray to manifest in your life? And you are not identifying anything, again, just be with God and see what comes up. And it doesn't have to be the goal of a lifetime. It can be something small, something that you know will move yourself forward at this time in your life. And now project on the screen of your mind that chosen goal, that thing that you pray to manifest. Just make it as vivid and real as you can. And notice details, sights, sounds, maybe smells, anything that makes that picture more real. And now put yourself in that picture. See yourself living your goal. And gently now, begin to fade out that picture. And ask God what you need to do in order to reach your goal. Just take a moment now to listen to what Spirit says. What do you need to do in order to reach that vision? Project on the screen of your mind an image of your future, say, in 5 years' time. See yourself happy, healthy, and in control of your life. Your dream, your vision has manifested in your life with God's help. And just feel that gratitude throughout your body. Your vision has manifested. And now, so full of that gratitude, ask Spirit what you can do. What is it that you feel called to do for God out of that sense of complete fullness and gratitude? Listen. Listen for the voice of Spirit and thank Spirit for that guidance. Knowing that you can return to your inner sanctuary at any time, knowing that you can go back to that vision and that feeling of gratitude at any time. We're going to gently return back to this place and time. And again, look at that rainbow in your mind's eye. First, you are surrounded by the color violet, and then bathed in indigo light. Then all about you is blue light, which softly turns to green light. And now the light turns yellow for a few moments, then changes to orange, then red light. And as that light fades, begin to stir, perhaps moving your fingers or your feet. And when you feel ready, return to the outer sanctuary, feeling at peace and refreshed. And if you want to jot down a few notes on the handout you received, you can take a moment to do that now, as we give thanks that there is one power and one presence, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Thank you, God. Well, it looks like people got something because I see people writing. It's a lovely meditation, isn't it? The rainbow meditation. And you can do that yourselves as well if you wish to return to that space and time. But now, back in this space and time, we affirm and give thanks that Unity offers positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. And here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. So I invite you to please join with me in saying them aloud together. We will. In the meantime, what a beautiful Luna moth that is.
Yeah, you're getting there. Keep going.
There we go. Our vision is centered in God. We co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And in this beautiful space, feeling inspired by our vision, our mission, and our values, feeling enriched by what we've experienced here today and what we're about to experience. Let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves as a spiritual community, we are pleased to tithe 10% of the offering collected today to Unity Online Radio and the West Central region of Unity Churches. So let us take a moment now to bless our tithes and love offerings, holding them in our hands or perhaps placing them next to our hearts as we say our offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Listen to the quiet, let it draw you in. Keep the moment holy, start anew again. Listen to the quiet that lies beneath the noise. God is speaking softly of miracles and joys. Make the right decision. you will know it's fair. God's love will guide you, a love that's always there. Every waking moment, in the middle of the night, God is right beside you, an illuminating light. Ever in the presence, always in God's glow. Create the conversation that lets this garden grow. Find a tranquil minute and lose yourself in prayer. Leave a space for others and know that God is there. Listen to the quiet, let it draw you in. Keep the moment holy, start anew again. Listen to the quiet that lies beneath the noise. God is speaking softly of miracles and joys.
So we can do the pearl of great price instead of clapping. When something's beautiful like that, so we don't disturb the energy, just rub your hands together. That is the pearl of great price. Please join with me in blessing our offering. Dear God,
We give thanks for the many blessings that are in our church this very moment. We open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that are ours to choose. We are filled with a mighty faith that empowers and frees us to live our divine purpose and serve our community with excellence. So it is. Amen.
So I'm moving back to this microphone, Ron, to give a few announcements. We are going to have our last open mic afternoon of the year. This has been a really fun thing that we've done. It's casual. You don't have to have prepared to come. You could just look up a favorite poem on your iPhone and come be here at 12:30. Basically what we do is we just get together and we hear that which inspires people, which makes people laugh. As I've mentioned before, we had a wonderful contribution by one of the children in our community who hopped up and down on one foot to show that he could do that. So anything's game. It's just a really fun time. We're going to do it today at 12:30 here in the sanctuary. Glad Valerie's back in. I want to tell all of you women who love to create that you are not going to want to miss the intentional creativity that is going to be done at Elizabeth Gibbons' house this coming Saturday. The 28th, I think? Elizabeth Gibbons is the painter of these beautiful paintings that you have enjoyed in the sanctuary. And she kindly is offering to give our intentional creativity salon at her house. And I want to tell you, being in her house is truly like walking into one of these paintings. It is the most awesome house you can even imagine, complete with mermaid bar, complete with all kinds of glittery, wonderful, sacred objects. It is such a treat for the senses, and she usually offers her workshops for double of what we're asking. We're asking $75 just to basically cover materials. If that's really a stretch for you, come see me. I wouldn't want you to not do it, but we really want to honor her time and her space and her generous hospitality. So please do plan on coming. This Saturday, 1 to 6, we might end a little bit sooner, but it is such an awesome opportunity to be with her and to further explore this power of zeal that we've been looking at all week, or all month. For those who register, and I do need you to register so I can give her a head count, just contact me and we can give you directions. She lives right by the UCSF Lone Mountain campus. You know, It's on Parker and Turk, I think. I think Turk and Parker is the cross street. I think it's called Lone Mountain. It's by, well, at any rate, I don't want to go into, this conversation right now, but I will be sure to give you complete and full directions if you want to come. So you can just treat your soul at the Palace of the Soul. Next week, we're going to have a guest speaker. Isabella Price is going to speak on the Black Madonna, the Dark Madonna, sometimes referred to by different names, but she's a scholar. She's written a book. And if you've ever heard about the Dark Madonna and have wondered about this very powerful image of the divine feminine, you are not going to want to miss next Sunday. It's going to be a wonderful presentation. And I am doing something, and again, I need you to sign up if this is something you want to do, because I'll have to order materials. But there's a woman named Melody Ross. Some of you may know her organization. It's Brave Girls Club, and now they're calling it Brave Tools for Living. Melody actually wrote the foreword to my new book, Crafting Gratitude, and I have attended a Brave Girls event before. They do a super job, and what they are wanting to do is have people all over the country and even world make a soul book. Their feeling is we've seen so much devastation, we're all feeling kind of shaken up, and we need a soul book that we can create that's personal to us, that will help us to remember what we need to remember when we're feeling a little shaken. So this is going to kick off nationally on October 28th. I'm going to hold the first one next Sunday, October 29th. From 1 to 3, we will be making our soul book. And then the following Sunday, November 5th, also 1 to 3, we will be painting and decorating our soul book. We need a little bit of time to let them dry. So if you want to do this, and I hope you will, do let me know so I can order the right number of materials. I'm offering this for $20 for both sessions, and that's basically just to cover the cost of materials. So let me know if you want to join me in making a soul book. And then, last but not least, I have a really exciting announcement to make. Today we are announcing our Foundations for the Future Fund Drive, which we are kicking off today, and it's going to be going through December 31st. And I want to tell you how that happened, because this is such a wonderful example of being the ones that we've been waiting for. We have a roof that has needed replacement for a number of years, and we've kind of patched it through the years. We decided to get quotations for replacing the roof, and they came in at right around $45,000. Big chunk of change, 40, 45. But because we are blessed with the incredible presence of Ron Willis and his partner Q Chrisman, they were able to find a professional roofer who is going to replace our roof for $25,000. So that right there is such incredible prosperity that we're going to be able to have it replaced at so much less than we anticipated. If that wasn't enough, they are each contributing $10,000 toward the roof. So we are $20,000 toward the $25,000 roof job. We also have other infrastructure things that need to be done. We need to replace our gutters. That's about $3,700. We need a new paint job. So what I and the board are asking you to do, let's see if we can be at least as generous as Ron and Q. Let's raise at least $10,000 so that we can have that roof job, so that we can possibly replace our gutters and get a start toward our paint job. If we can raise more, then that's fantastic. Let's do it. But let's shoot for a goal of $10,000 to match their generosity. We have ordered a thermometer. It's a 4-foot thermometer. It may cover you, Michael. I'm not sure. We'll see.
okay with that.
But we're going to let you see visually how close we are to our goal. That should come in this week. So next Sunday, you'll see it up. But what an incredible example of generosity, of giving to the community. We are so blessed. So let's also dig deep and see if we can raise at least the same amount of money that's being donated by both Ron and by Q. And again, let's have a big round of applause for that. And with that, we will bring in our kids.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.